All right, what I'm doing on this is showing an example and how to set it up on Desmos. So what you want to do, and I've already gone ahead and done this, but I'll go ahead and click out of it. You always want to put whatever the third number is, and you want to divide it by X. That's what you're going to type in that top box. So in this particular problem, I typed in 12 divided by X. Okay, at that point, once you do that, you are going to push the plus sign, and the plus sign is at the top, and we're pushing that plus sign. And when you push that plus sign, you want to choose table. Okay? So once you have chosen table, and you only have to do this part one time, you are going to enter in under the X values the numbers -10 to +10. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter in -10 and then -9, and this is the part that takes the longest amount of time to do. -6, -5, and I'll just go ahead and go on until I get to +10. You do not have to do this for every problem. You only have to do this the first problem that you do. And that way, because it would take forever to type all of these numbers in. And I'm probably much slower than the students are doing this. All right, once I have entered in all of those numbers from -10 to 10, I want to go to the top of my table, and I'm going to, on the right-hand side where you see Y1, okay, I am going to replace Y1 with 12 over X1, okay, with 12 over X1. So what I would do is I would go up here to Y1 and highlight it, and I'm going to type in the fraction. So I'm going to push the division sign, and I'm going to get on top 12, and on the bottom, I'm going to type X1, and that means that you're simply typing in X1. Okay, when I did that, as you just saw, it gave me answers for the Y values, the ordered pairs. Now, at this point, I look through these, and any answers that are decimals, I ignore. Okay, so the -1.2, I ignore it. I ignore the next one, the next one, the next one. The first one that I get to, the combination that works, is -6 and -2. Okay, so I'm just going to write that down. The next one that is not a fraction is -4 and -3. I have -3 and -4, -2 and -6, -1 and -12, 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4, 4 and 3 is the same, and 6 and 2. All right, so what I do with those two numbers is I am going to add them together. So if I add -6 plus -2, that would give me -8. That's not the middle number. It has to add to equal 7. -4 plus -3 is -7. That's close. I would get negative 7, negative 8, negative 13, 13, 8, 7, and 8. 7 is the combination that I need, so that tells me that to factor this, I'm going to be using positive 3 and positive 4. So that's going to be x plus 3 times x plus 4. All right, so we're going to do a second problem, and I'm going to go ahead and use the same table that we had before. The only change that I have to make is it's going to be the third number divided by x sub 1, and that's what we replace y sub 1 with. So where I have the 12 over x sub 1, all I need to do is click where that 12 is, and I need to change that to the number negative 10 on top. And when I do that, it's going to give me a new set of ordered pairs. I want to know what set of ordered pairs, when I add them together, is going to equal that middle number, which is negative 3. Okay? So I'm going to take the first ordered pairs that I found. That would work. And the first combination that worked was negative 10 and 1. Those were not decimals. So I would add those two together. Negative 10 plus 1 is negative 9, and that does not work. I go to the next one that's not a decimal. This is a decimal, 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 decimal. I get negative 5 and positive 2. And when I add that on Desmos, I get negative 3, which is what I'm supposed to have. So I know this can be factored as it's going to be x times x. The first number is negative 5, so that is minus 5, and the second number is positive 2. So once you get that table typed in on trinomials, the only thing that you're going to have to do to it is to change that top number.